Hello? I am going to make another dish, and right now I'm doing what I always do. I'm melting butter, so I have a lot of it. Let me show you what we're up to here today. Alright, so as usual, melting the butter because I don't have any oil and butter is cheap. And today we're going to make a dish with eggplants, tomatoes, pepper, and most importantly basil, and I have some ground meat. I think it's beef. It was kind of in the chicken aisle, or chicken counter, and I started pointing at it. They didn't understand what I was talking about, but I think I got about 1 kilo of ground beef. That looks pretty fresh. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to make a bunch of meatballs. I'm going to add egg and some spices to them. I got this wonderful pepper that I got at an indoor market, Yerevan, and I got this spicy hot pepper. And this is how they sell you in little bags of this. These were about a little less than 25 cents a bag. And I got this beautiful basil stuff. It's red and it's extremely fragrant. Do you want to smell it? Come on, try. It's very, very good. Okay. Has a good licorice smell. And got some nice thin aubergine. So, I'm going to get started. I'll come back when I'm ready. Okay, so I got my kilo of ground beef there, and I added some of that parsley, chopped it up with a butter knife, because that's what I have. I have a hunting knife too, but I'm worried I'm going to break the plate. Alright, so I'm going to get a pinch of pepper. Pepper's very strong. It was very freshly ground, I think, at the market. And some of that spicy paprika. I like my chicken spicy, so. Alright, now I'm just going to mix this all together. And I'm not going to add breadcrumbs because I don't have any breadcrumbs. I have an egg, but I want to use it for breakfast, and frankly this stuff is pretty moist as is. I don't want to do that. And once I get this all mixed up, I'm going to make, I think, several largish meatballs, big as they can fit into that container. Okay. Okay, now I made them meatballs. 4, 5, 6, 8. Good amount of meatballs. And butter is heating up again. Turn it to high real quick. This hot plate's kind of sensitive. So they have the basil in them and the peppers, and now what I'm going to do is just brown them up a little bit in the butter. Try not maybe cook them full, and then I'm going to set them aside and make the sauce. The reason for this? One pot. Okay, so what I did is I turned up the heat, and then I just put the meatballs in there, and I covered them so that the moisture from the meat, along with the butter, would really kind of ease into them and make them really nice and moist. So I'm going to leave them in there for just a little bit more, turn my heat down a little bit now, and let's see, down to 3, let's go for 2. And then I'll remove those and start making the sauce. Okay, so there are my polpetti, and you can probably tell they're not totally cooked through. So they're going to cook the rest of the way in the sauce. But I do that so that they don't break up. And right now I have some butter in the pot with a little bit of basil. I just tore the basil up with my hands. And now I'm going to cut up some onion. They have these incredible fresh tomatoes here. They're so soft and fragrant. and they're just really good. I mean, raw. I've had them cooked now. They're great. And a pepper, which, again, I don't know if it's hot or not. So we'll see. And my aubergine. And I'm just going to dice these up, throw them in the pot all together, and that will start making the sauce for the polpetti. Okay, so I have my onions and the pepper, which turns out to be a sweet pepper, and a little bit of basil and butter. And I'm cooking this down now under a nice low heat so they soften up a little bit. And then I'm going to show you how I carefully mince these tomatoes. You squeeze them in your hand like this, like a monster. I mean, why go through all that trouble slicing them up? You lose a lot of juice when you do that too. So, skin everything right in there. There's a nice big juicy one. And I just cut off the little tops. You gotta watch out when you do this, because sometimes it just squishes all over the place. If you have a flattish pot like this, it can go right out. Okay. There's that. Now I'm going to cut up the aubergine. Okay. So I've got everything together. It's in a nice low boil. Now I'm going to add my eggplant. I diced them into really small pieces, leaving the skin on. So I really want them to absorb all of that liquid and cook through, and I also want them to add liquid. So these are going to let off a lot of liquid, all the vegetables, the tomatoes, and what's going to happen is they're going to start creating sauce. So what I'm going to do, put them in here, looking a little bit like a ratatouille, and I'm going to add some of my spices. I've only got 2, so I use these. I'm going to do a pinch of pepper. And if I can get the bag open, a pinch of red pepper. That is good. Alrighty. Now I'm going to mix this stuff up. Let all that stuff come together. And cover it. I'm going to leave it like that for a while. Maybe about an hour or so. Keep checking on it, keep stirring it. Okay, so this has been going for about 25 minutes or so. Got it to a high boil. And you can see all the liquid. If it's not liquid enough, I could add some more, but that looks perfect. And let's see. I think what I'll do now, it looks like the eggplant is almost there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reduce the heat to barely simmering and then add the meatballs and let them cook the rest of the way in this sauce. So I'm going to leave it uncovered for now. Turn it down to low, and we'll be adding our meatballs in. Okay, so got it at a nice little simmer there. I'm just going to start adding these polpetti. Got about 7 or 8 of them, I can't remember. And mix them in a little bit. The sauce covers them, and again, if I needed more, I could add some water to it, which maybe, yeah, no, I don't think I'll do that. It's fine like that. Okay, now let it get back to that simmer, and we'll cover it. Stay tuned for serving. Okay, and here is the final product. Kind of a nice little ragu with the meatballs and the eggplant. I got some bread on the side, so we got Armenian bread. And let's taste this stuff. Let's see, meatballs, and pretty tender, cooked thoroughly. There was the eggplant on there too. A little hot. Very good. I really like the eggplant. They're very, very tender. And of course you get your bread. Good Armenian bread. We bake this stuff locally. And actually everything in here is pretty local. I didn't add any salt, but I got enough of that all day. I'm going to eat a little bit of this, and then I'm going to save the rest for lunch tomorrow, because Magusha's mother has been cooking for me every night. She shows up at the door with a bowl or something. So here, enter some stock footage of Magusha's mother's meals. You can see now why I'm maybe not very hungry, but oops, dropped my fork. That's all right, I don't get it. And just elegant dining table you see here is also my studio and my office. It's where I work and make my artwork. Where I eat. There's my money. I've got about, is that 300 drams or so right there. And this is where I store my work as well. So this is the sculptures I've been making while I've been here in Armenia doing different stuff. So that's it for now. I'm going to eat some more of this and I'm going to get back to work. Ciao ciao for now. And let's see, what could we call this? Yerevan Meatballs. How about that? Cool. Bye-bye. Oh, and remember to tear up, just by hand, some fresh basil over the dish when you serve it, because it's really, really good. And if you don't have the cool red stuff, then green will do. Okay, I'll leave you alone. And I guess I was hungrier than I thought. Maybe the internet's working. I don't know.